Just thought I'd do a short video on how I prepared for my surgery to try and get the best results possible. I looked at it from a long-term perspective, probably about 6 months out. I was fortunate that I did have the time to schedule my surgery because the surgeon concerned allowed me to plan a year in advance. I'm self-employed. I needed time to be able to take time off without affecting my earning power too much, so I was fortunate in that respect. I will go into questions for the surgeon in a separate video, but the main questions that I had for my surgeon initially were, what could I do to help me help her, because my surgeon has now retired, but my surgeon was one of the few female surgeons that do chest surgery. So I did say to her, what could I do to help her to help me get the best results? So that I'll go into in a separate video. Pre-surgery, I made sure that I was eating as well as possible. Plenty of good quality protein, plenty of vegetables. I'm not a big fan of fruit, but I did try and include some in the mornings for additional vitamins, minerals and fibre, as well as water. I also made sure that I was drinking plenty of water throughout the day to be able to make sure that I was hydrated enough, because dehydration can affect your surgery, mainly in terms of you being tired and not recovering quite well. You'll feel a bit sluggish maybe. I also made sure that I wasn't eating white carbs, so plenty of granary bread, brown rice, whole wheat pasta. Not huge amounts, just a small amount to provide energy and again fibre. I wanted to have a good system where my body's regularly removing waste products, so that I wasn't likely to be too constipated post-surgery. I also took a good multivitamin / multi-mineral. I used the Centrum brand. They're a good quality product, but at a very reasonable price. And in stores like Tesco, you can often find them at 3 for 2. So a lot of people have their own queries on vitamins and minerals. This is my personal choice to make sure that should I have any nutritional deficiencies, the gaps were closed prior to surgery. I also made sure that I took an omega-3 supplement. I don't eat a great deal of oily fish. If you are vegan, you can choose flaxseed oil. If you are not, then you can use an omega-3 supplement. Just have it on its own, not an omega-3, 6 and 9 or 3 and 6, just omega-3 on its own is fine. We get plenty of omega-6 through our diet regularly anyway. The other thing I made sure to do was take plenty of exercise, be as active as I could, whether that was walking, running, doing weights to help my chest. Not all surgeons want you to do weights before surgery, some don't, but mine said that if I could build up the chest muscle as well as possible, that would help her to do the best that she could for me. So I do have separate videos on chest workouts if people want to look for those on my Kinetic Lifestyle channel. There are plenty of choice exercises there for you, and there'll be more going on, so don't worry, there's plenty for you there. The other thing I did was to listen to what my surgeon asked me to do pre and post-op. Everybody's different. We can all have a generic message for each other, but our surgeon is the person really we should listen to. My surgeon said post-op I could walk straight away, as long as I didn't move my arms too ferociously, then I could walk. And so post-op I actually walked quite regularly, every 10 to 15 minutes, just a bit of a walk around the room, get the circulation flowing. Again, post-surgery, drank plenty of water. I had lemon and ginger tea for nausea, peppermint tea to aid digestion, so that again it was helping me try and avoid constipation post-surgery. I am not a big fan of being sick like most people. My anaesthetist did say that I could ask for antiemetic meds, which I did post-surgery, and they were extremely useful. So if you are nervous about that sort of reaction, please tell your anaesthetist when they're doing their paperwork, because if they're aware, they can always have things ready for you, so that hopefully you won't feel sick or won't be sick. Post-op again, I took into the hospital sealed salads, good quality protein products. They will allow you to take stuff in. They'll give you a label to put on it for your own food, because we did the research, and at the time, I don't think it's the case now, the hospital that I was staying in was the worst in the area for food, and the food you eat can really help with your recovery. So I took in pre-packaged salads and protein to have for my meals, and again drank that with the tea and plenty of water. Post-op, I also cut down on my caffeine to just allow my body to recover as best as possible without stimulants. I only did that for a few days. You don't need to do it for a long term, but those were the things I did. I don't think there's anything else to add here. If I do, I'll add it in the comments. But ultimately, those were the steps I took to make sure that nutritionally I was sound. Oh, arnica, that's the one, arnica. Some surgeons recommend arnica, some don't. So again, see what your surgeon wishes to do. Personally, for me, it was very useful because it did cut out some of the soreness from the stitches and the nipple area. So please check with your surgeon. Again, I know people have their own opinions on it. This is my personal choice, so that's up to me, and that's what I chose to do. If you don't want to, that's fine. If you want to see what your surgeon says, again, feedback from others here can be useful. So I kept going with the supplements for a good couple of months post-surgery, and I waited 6 weeks to get back to jogging, running, 12 weeks to get back to weights, which was when my internal stitches pinged. So again, each to their own. I will do a separate video for questions to ask the surgeon, but I hope that this one is useful for you to get a start as you prepare for your own surgery and how you can get ready and recover as well as possible from it. Thank you.